So, here you all are. All of you despicable pests.
But that looks like...
Crush you beneath my heel. That is my fate!
Through their perseverance, Link and the others overcame the monsters who had been revived by the Blood Moon, thus clearing the way to Hyrule Castle. Before them, their final confrontation awaited. This battle that would determine the fate of all Hyrule. How might it end?
Okay, I've been silent because I thought this loading screen would be faster. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're getting right into the swing of things. So... Oh. Oh. The mission objective is seal Calamity Ganon. And we lose if Link or Zelda flees. The future of Oh my goodness. Seal Calamity Ganon is our objective right now. Okay. I was not expecting that little evil guardian to turn into like the freaking super crazy robot thing. Oh my goodness. No, don't you dare projectile me. Defeat Astra and Harbinger Ganon. Is that the name of that little guardian thing? I'm probably not going. Am I going the right way with this? Like. Ow! That took off all my health except for that. Like 2/3 just from like the, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, this difficulty is so fair and balanced. Let me tell you just how fair and balanced this game difficulty is right now. Crap. No, stop, return to sender. Get out of here. Ow, I was stuck in an animation. Are you kidding me? Hopefully nobody disturbs me while I do this. Hopefully not. Because I wouldn't mind taking out Mr. Stalmoblin as soon as I can, so that we can focus on the Stalnox. Yikes. Nowhere close to killing. Well, let's face this way and then do this, and I hope it'll be enough. This is insane. And I thought the last battle was insane. Okay, well. Oh, well, I guess we'll damage Mr. Stalnox for now. Come on. Can I do it enough here? I was trying to dodge that as best I could. Well, I'll use a Healy thing. Screw it. Darn it. Stop that. I really hope Mr. Stalnox does not interfere with... Oh, I didn't kill him. Why did it move the thing? Oh, okay, well. Sure. Well, if I can take out your thing here too, that'd be cool. I'm gonna weak point smash the Stalnox before I lose my opportunity to do so. Like that. Can I still? Nope, not enough time to do that. I'm really glad I saved my rods last time for this upcoming battle. So I'm down with 1 healing item so far, and we're only in like this first area. Okay, I should for sure. Okay, go away, random skull things. So we should be able to... Oh, we got a health thing from somewhere. So now my food inventory is full at least. So that takes out that Stalmoblin. So now it's just the Stalnox who's at half health. Okay, things could be so much worse right now. As is, things are probably a-okay enough. How about you don't make yourself armed? Quite literally. How about you actually don't? Because my goodness. I'll whittle this down as much as I can. Nice, we hit the eye to extend this a bit. Will it be enough, though? Oh, almost. Come on. There we go. Yes. Oh. High stress game. Get out of here, random skull thing. I forgot what they're called. I've completely forgotten what they're called. Okay, no stip stomping for you. Please, no angry stip stomping action. Stop arming yourself. 4, 5, and then big spins. Okay. And then we whittle this down as much as we can. I'll try to get a shot on the eye to extend it. Oh, we might just take out your health normally. It's starting to look pretty low. Hey, big guy, the sun's looking real low. Okay, now we'll take you out. I'm surprised we didn't get the more special animation. Oh, because it's the Stallox instead of Hinox, I guess. Okay. Our first trial surpassed. Valiant effort, but not enough, you'll find. This was over long before it began. Was it? Astro has summoned the Blight. He summoned the Blight Ganon! I'm just gonna follow my allies and like go up here and hope for the defeat that. Do I have to fight them all 4 at once? Don't tell me. Don't tell me I need to. Okay, they're all across the map, so at least they're not all together. If they were all together, I would have freaking lost my mind. What's in here? Light skill trident. Okay. Okay. But the Blight Ganons are back. That is a issue. So is there a Blight Ganon in here? Oh, it's my favorite Blight Ganon. Hi. You're totally my favorite. You totally haven't screwed me over in Breath of the Wild countless times. I'm totally not gonna get revenge on you again for all those shenanigans that you put me through. Let me tell you. Oh, I might not be able to get it in one fell swoop. No, I don't think so. Darn it. You are so freaking scary. And I thought you were scary in Breath of the Wild. And I thought so. More damage. More raw damage before we do the weak point smash. Weak point smash. Okay. So stressful. Okay, can I get over here to do this in time? Maybe? It's gonna be sketchy. Nope, I sure can't. There goes most of my health. Stop. Stop it. Get some help. Okay. Then we do this. Oh, I might not have enough time. I didn't have enough time, straight up. But now I should have enough time to take out your whole weak point gauge. I hope. I hope so, at least. We do have full food items again, if need be. Whoops, I actually meant to backflip. Dang, I'm not gonna take out the whole thing because I messed that up. What the hell? You summoned more of you? Are you supposed to do this in previous fights? And I didn't get the chance to see it because I freaking stun-locked you before, and so... Okay. So we took them all out with a special attack. I think I heard somebody telling me that Thunderblight gets more copies, but I never got the chance to see it because I freaking stun-looped him. Do I... Like, I'm very tempted to do so again with my rods, but like... No, I'm not risking it. No, 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 no. Hi, friends. Have you come to assist me in hopefully taking out Mr. Thunderblight Jerk? Hope you have. Oh, yeah, we have lots of allies here along with this. Okay, let's aim for the body first, or we'll get the eye by accident. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we can take out this whole gauge in one fell swoop. Ooh, no. I hate it. The way you delay that 4th strike kind of throws me off. Well, no. How about you don't? Okay, so I'll take out Thunderblight here at least. We will take out Thunderblight. I'm in fire right now, but it's fine because we're murdering Thunderblight, which is always something satisfying. So like, okay, so how do I go to the next one? Let's open the chest that Thunderblight gave me.
Now.
Yeah, tasting fools, this will put a stop to your meddling. I guess we go after another Blight Ganon this way. Squizzy! The Guardian was reinforced by Astor. Oh! What the hell? Harbinger Ganon has activated the Guardians? Okay. This final boss is stressful. This is honestly stressful. Like, jeez. Everything is so red. Okay, what now, Mr. Malice Guardian? Oh, I probably could have gone up on and capitalized on the opening. I was distracted by all the goblins. Where are you going? Have you got places to be? Because if you got places to be, I'll leave you be. Oh, fine. If you're going to do big spins, then I'll stop you from doing the big spins, I suppose. Is what I guess I'll do. Okay, let's do it again. Please don't smack me, random bokoblin. Okay. I don't think I can take it the whole gauge, can I? Can I hit the eye, please? Dang it. Nice. Nice. My goodness. Goodbye, Mr. Malice Guardian. So we're at 1 out of 4 Blight Ganons. I'm kind of distracted with fighting this Malice Guardian at the moment, so I mean... Okay. The stasis gonna recover in time. Just in time. Daruk, you are a little bit in the way of my vision right now. Decent bit in the way. I would like to see things. Preferably. Okay, nice. Come on. Oh. Oh, dang it. Don't you dare do the freaking slap. Okay, there's the smackdown. Okay. Neat. So I think we need one more after this, and then it should be Mr. Malice Guardian taken out. Okay, so we do this combo. And then we do it again. The little Guardian's getting a little bit glitched out at the moment. Okay, that's gonna take out a lot of it. I'll aim for the body first and then the eye. Let's see how much we can do here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we can take out the whole thing in one cycle, unfortunately. As spicy as that would be, yeah, gonna have to wait for one more opening. Which might be this if I don't mess up my timing. If I mess up my timing, it's gonna take up most of my health. Thank goodness I didn't mess up my timing then. My goodness. I feel like it might be easier to parry lasers in this game than it is in Breath of the Wild. Maybe. It's hard to say. Okay, let's go. That took a while to get through. They have so much health on very hard mode, is the thing. Like, just so much. Oh, hi, Fire Blight. I love your hairdo that you got in this game, by the way. Like, it's freaking crazy. Okay. So we'll do the thing. It's kind of hard to see right now. It is very, very difficult to see what's going on right now. Wah. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we can take out their entire stun gauge in one cycle like it was the last time we fought these guys. Oh, maybe? I stand corrected. I actually stand corrected. Alright, I kind of don't want to step in any of the... I think this is just... Yeah, these are just walls, so I don't have to worry about accidentally stepping in the Malice. Luckily. He's gonna do his freaking wicked hairdo thing. Okay, let's get in there. Let's see if we can take it out in one cycle again. It is so hard to see right now! Wah! I'm mostly using sound cues. Okay. Neat. Come on. One more volley. No! 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 Oh, it was so close though. Oh man. You guys are kind of pushing him into the corner, which is honestly making him harder to fight. Okay, he kind of escaped the corner a little bit. Okay, yeah, do the freaking crazy wicked hair thing. I could probably do something like that with my... Oh, he did one more strike than I expected. It scared me for a second. Yeah, let's get you into this open area over here where it's a little bit... It's not the most open area. I mean... Oh yeah, put extra fire on your sword because it wasn't fiery enough before. No. Okay, do something that makes an opening, please. I don't think that makes an opening. Nope. Nope. Wah! Ooh, how about you stop? I think I timed it right. Hopefully I didn't get it late and he hits me anyway. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, we'll hit his body a couple times. A few times, actually. And then I'll aim for the eye when he starts getting up to see if I can extend how long it's out. Oh, I think that got the eye there. And then we can stasis. Okay. Okie doke. Okay, so one more after this, and that'll be Fire Blade out of the way. One more to go. They have so much. Look how many dudes are surrounding him! The amount of allies we have. This is hilarious. I love it. I love how many different characters are all attacking Fire Blade together. It amuses me. Whoa, it's so hard to see. Ah, it's so bright, it hurts my eyes. No, do that. No, I could barely see and I didn't know what I was doing. Oh, he's doing the crazy hair thing again anyway. She'll make an opening, so like, that's cool. Whoa, I'm getting stuck on things. Ooh. Okay, got there just in time, luckily. You might just be able to take out your health normally. Maybe. He's so bright. Okay, yeah, that's another blight down. Okay, wait. Wait, how do I keep going now, though? What? Wait, where do I go? Do I have to go all the way back around? I think I have to go all the way back around. My goodness, this stage, though. Like, it is such a stark contrast to the stages in the original Hyrule Warriors game, which are, like, so blocky and so level-like, whereas this feels like actual environments that you're running around and such. I think I actually have to go back all the way and go back around again. Methinks. Venture back into the castle again. And we'll go around. So I should probably order my allies. Oh, you're already here. Yeah, probably order my allies onto... Yeah, like Water Blight Ganon here. King Rome's already there. Okay, nice. So let's all freaking swarm Water Blight Ganon. It looks like there are some places on the map that I could replenish my rods if I did start using them instead of, like, conserving them for presumably the final boss, which I assume might be the little guardian thing? Maybe? I don't know. It might be something past that even. It might be like Calamity Ganon from Breath of the Wild. Hi! How much have you guys got his health down? A decent bit, I mean... Hi. Hi, no! Oh my goodness, you scared me in Breath of the Wild, you scare me in this game. Stop! Okay. Well. Okay. Nice spear. It's pretty cool looking, let me tell you. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to take out the whole gauge in one cycle, but we'll certainly try. Oh, come on. Oh, he's gonna smack me, like, right now. There goes almost all my health. There goes all my health. Oh. Crap. Dang it, there goes my one-time revive. I was trying to heal just before then. Darn it. And I used a healing item anyway, and the one-time revive kicked. Great. Great, man. I was hoping to save that for later. I went from full health to dead in literally 3 hits. This game difficulty is so fun and balanced. I'm trying to aim downwards. Let me, please. Hit the eye. My eye! Okay, nice. Can I? Ooh. Yes, we can stasis you again. Thank goodness for that. Revenge, Water Blight. Revenge! Right, one more to go. So the last is Wind Blight. Okay, so I don't go through... Yeah, this is like the same layout as in Breath of the Wild. I guess they use like the same model and worked from the... Okay, there is another healing item at least. I don't get another revive though. Use that my one time. Maybe the revive wasn't the best thing to use after all. For like cooking something else. Because like I would have, worst case scenario, I would have just gone back to like last checkpoint. Which is probably like the last blight that I defeated anyway. So it tells me to go here? Oh, to go up and around. Oh, hi, Wind Blight. It seems like you haven't been damaged at all yet. Oh, you are so much more threatening than Breath of the Wild. Woo! Don't. Oh my goodness, that's a big area you cover. Let's run in here. Oh, I didn't get there in time. How am I supposed to counter that then? Are my allies not coming up here? Okay, I think they are. Input might not be. She's getting a little bit lost. Stop. Please. Okay. I'm going to do the thing. The thing, my favorite thing. Like this. I love this thing. Well. whale. Okay. That's about as high up as the game lets me aim. Whoa, there we go. Luckily, he put his eye down right in front of my bow. That was rather lucky. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I can't use stasis right now. Who hit me? Did I just stasis Wind Blight while he's invisible? Is that how I am to interpret this? I guess so. Yes, this is how I am to interpret this, apparently. Okay, well. One weak point smash of many. Okay. Okay, we'll force your weak point gauge to come out with that move. To do what we can. Nice. And we'll do what we can here. Please put your eye in front of my bow again. Darn you! Oh, dang, I can't use stasis right now. Thanks, I hate it. Woo! Let's avoid those, please. My goodness, you cover a wide area with... Oh! Dang, I messed that up. Like, I can recover a little bit of it with stasis, and it might be enough to break your thing anyway. So it might be a-okay. Yup, seems like. I love how surrounded he is by so many characters. Usually I'm fighting these kinds of enemies solo, but they're all just like gradually helping me whittle his health away. Well, I'm not gonna get there in time, am I? Bomb. Stop. None of that for you. None of those types of shenanigans for you, please. Oh, crap. Crap! Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. Can I get back there in time? Nope, sure can't. Wind Blade, I hate you. That didn't make a weak point gauge appear. This is such a close space over here. I do not want to be over here. Ideally. Well, like, you've left me no choice. I can't see what's going on. I mean, okay, smackaroo. Jeez, I hope we don't have to fight the Blights again after this. Because they are... Oh! Oh! There goes almost all my health in one hit. My favorite. I love it. Okay, your weak point gauge appeared after that. This might be enough to actually take you out, like, right now. Maybe. Which I really hope is the case. It looks like it probably will be. Come on, get out here, Wind Blight. A nice broken camera angle game. Oh, and I got a level up, so that's a full heal. Thank goodness for that. Whew. Defeat Astra and a Harbinger. I can't see anything. Okay. Like, individually? Wait. Okay, so I can go down here. So they're gonna be their own boss. So Harbinger again, I assume, is not the final boss then, and it's like the weird robot thing. Wait, it looks like King Rome is going away that I didn't realize was there according to the map, so I might just follow him that way. Impa's going down this way. So it's like, is this gate open now or something? Wait. Oh. Oh, this is just open apparently. Oh. Oh, that gate's gonna close behind me, isn't it? You guys want me to go in there? Oh, okay. I'm gonna pause while I turn the cameras back on because bosses like to attack me immediately. Yo, I don't know what to expect. Oh, well, there goes most of my health. Maybe I should just, that's gotta be a checkpoint right there. Should I just restart? Should I let him take out my health? Because, you know, I don't really want to die before I've taken out, like, I don't really want to lose like 90% of my health before I've done anything. This is a very close quarter thing. Okay, so yeah, puts us from here right after we defeated Wind Blight. Yeah, I could probably use all my allies' help on this. I wonder if I can bait him out. like into the more open space where it's easier to fight him. He is very crazy looking, isn't he? Can I get you over here, maybe? Yeah, y'all wanna join me fighting Mr. Harbinger Ganon? Whoa. Does he not want to come out? Do we actually have to fight him in there? Yeah, go get him. We might actually have to fight him in there. Oh my goodness, his range though. Well, wait, is he coming out? Or was that just like dashing towards Zelda? Okay, aim for the body first and then for the eye. My goodness, you are freaky looking. You look like something out of like a horror game or something. Can you come out? Oh my, what the heck? You can come out here. Okay. Yeah, I'd prefer to fight you out here, honestly. You are one spooky, scary looking thing, aren't you? Well, that does make your weak point appear. At least there goes a lot of my health again. Unfortunately, you are probably going to be very tough if I had to guess. I mean, it's already very much seeming that way, so I mean... Yikes, and I still kind of want... Guardians have appeared. Oh, great, my favorite. Yeah, fight my allies, please. Is he going back into the thing? I'm going home! I'm done! Y'all are mean. You guys keep fighting me and stuff. Oh. Oh, he changed his mind. Yes, fight them, not me. And I'll just capitalize on when you make yourself, you know, open. Alright, so Master Koga's got our flank. Oh! Well, I just barely got into there in time. I'm really glad that that makes your weak point appear. It doesn't do that for every boss. Thank goodness Harbinger Ganon counts as one of the ones where it does. Well. Okay. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. As long as we play it patiently and kind of hang back and stuff. We can definitely do this. Okay, he's at like half HP. Whoa! Yeah, there's no way I'm getting in there after that. I stayed way too far. I want him to come over here. Is where I want him to go. Oh crap, my allies are gonna be over it. I'm gonna ask you guys to come to me briefly. And see if that gets Harbinger Ganon out here. Come out here. Come on. Come on. Come on, let's go. Come on, get him out here. It'll be easier to fight him out here. Is Revali still in there? Just fighting him one-on-one? I think Revali's literally in there 1v1ing Harbinger Ganon. Yeah, he literally... He's literally in there 1v1ing Harbinger Ganon. Crap, we probably do have to fight him in the close quarters then, don't we? Because Revali is too freaking crazy. Okay, go get him. Go get him. Go get him, nerds. Take his lunch money. Woo! Okay, don't take his lunch money. What the heck is this? Whoa! Jeez. Well, stop. Please stop right there. Yeah, you are so freaky looking. Let me tell ya. Aim for the body first, and then for the eye. Okay. Nice. My goodness, this is very much something. I'm just gonna kind of hold shield. I normally like dashing around, but while I don't really understand what enemy does, it's probably better to just kind of hold shield. Okay, so we should be able to get another weak point smash here. Maybe even kill you here. Maybe. That's gonna be close. So, I mean, okay, body first, and then eye. Like that. And then... Yes. Yes. Very much yes. Goodbye, Harbinger Ganon. You were very, very creepy. Oh. Great. Harbinger Ganon has withdrawn for now. So, how do I get to Astor, huh? Yeah, I definitely can't go this way, so I'm gonna have to go around. Yeah, so he's kind of like where Fireblight was, down that other way. Why is it silence right now? Why is there no, like, music? Yeah, go after Astor. So we're gonna go around. I assume that Malice swamp in the center of the two areas is gonna go away once we get him. I love how Rivali just walked a freaking 1v1 Harbinger Ganon. Man, that... I was not expecting the little evil guardian to freaking... Oh. What have we over here? Is Koga going after all... I know Koga said he would. There's Sidon and Teba over here, apparently. I guess we'll probably deal with these pesky guardians in the way first. Is what we'll do. Oh, crap. Nice miss! Nice. Nice. Alright, so we're just gonna straight up take you out, luckily. Okay, one more guardian over here. What's it gonna be, huh? I was not expecting the path to be blocked by guardians. Definitely wasn't expecting that. Okay. Well, oh dang it, your weak point gauge isn't out right now. Unless I can force it like this. Oh, maybe. Okay, body first. And then eye to extend it a little bit. Come on. Nice. Nice. Whew. Okay, wait, so where are we going? Down this way, it looks like. Okay, guardians are out of the way. This is a lot of monsters right now. A lot of monsters. Okay, so we're outside, so we can go back around. Oh, my allies might be taking a route that I wasn't aware of. I think I might be taking the long way. Maybe. So where's Astor? Astor? This way, I guess. This way. Squeezy, coming through. Coming through. I've got a Dark Lord to go beat up and stuff. So I can't go this. Oh, I can go it this way. Like he's above. I recognize the stuff, the area and the stuff that I do here in my kind of joke speedrun. Whistle up here, drop down, and then sneak strike the moblin who thinks that you're above because he heard it from above, and then he's just like blind to you being in front of him. It's great. There's a bombable wall around the corner over here where you can get some stuff. No way. Is it actually? Scimitar of the Seven. They kept it in. Huh. That's cool. As I said, there's a bombable wall right there. So, that's neat. Okay, health is very gradually coming back. We do have full health items. Oh my goodness, what are you doing over here? Oh, this is what Koga's been doing over here. Like, oh buddy, get me out of this mess. I think this forces your weak point gauge to appear. Nope, sure didn't. Bit of a shame. What you gonna do? Yeah, that doesn't either. The later strikes of it at least. What? Oh, is that Hestu over there? I heard a yahaha of like a Korok. Oh, dang, I did it a little late. There's another one. Oh, you threw me off with your timing. You made the sound like you were about to shoot and then you didn't. Yaha! Jeez, you guys are like messing with like the sound. It's like Dead by Daylight's Huntress Lullaby. It just messes with the sound of like the things. Sound prompts. Woo! Yeah, I'll shield that and then we'll take out this one. Jeez. There is a lot of craziness going on here. That's the one taken out. The other is fallen and can't get up. We might just, yeah, we'll take out your health normally. And if I can actually hit you, jeez, it's just like the final boss of Breath of the Wild where I couldn't hit it because I was too low. Except that was because of a glitch that I intentionally did because it's funny. So, okay, hi. No cutscene for you. Okay, never mind. Oh, but like a lesser cutscene. Oh! Oh. Why have you guys, like, not come here? Why haven't you? Come on, get over here. So I'll take out you first and foremost. Yeah, it looks like your weak point gauge is forced because of... Yeah, I gotta avoid Astor's attacks. Your weak point gauge is forced because I have the Master Sword. So that's nice, at least. That's the one nice thing about what's going on here. Well, there goes almost all my health. Just like that, after 2 attacks. Oh, darn it. I'm just gonna take you out like this. That's what I'm gonna do. Get you out of the picture. He's probably gonna summon it again later on, most likely. Okay. Okay. I should probably restore my health again with food stuff just to make sure that I don't, you know, die by something dumb. Okay. I hope my allies are on their way over here to help me out with this set of shenanigans we've got going on. But we've beaten you once before. We can do it again, but you're probably going to be like way more difficult this time, especially considering when you summon copies like that, you fight alongside them instead of just being behind a shield like you were the last time. I'm not going to risk it. Nope. No, 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 no. Don't. Oh, your weak point gauge doesn't even appear out of that. Okay, my health is gradually coming back. Hi, King Rome. Yes, smack him. Yes, help me out with smackarooing this bitch. Cool. Neat. And we'll whittle it down as much as we can. Here we can get in. Oh, just 1 volley, not even 2. I hate how your weak point gauge doesn't appear out of that. Yeah, I think my biggest concern is just when he's, and he will, summon another Link copy. I think that's going to be the big concern. Fighting, the 2 of them fighting together. And me fighting one while the other attacks me. So, okay. Another weak point smash. Another one for the road here. Okay. Now keep on whittling him down. My other allies might be coming here bit by bit. I'm just gonna like casually walk away from that and be able to get away fast enough. Those just aren't very fast attacks. Oh, crap! Oh, crap. Well. Stop. Please stop. Well. Well. Oh, dang it. Stop. No. Okay, no weak point gauge out of that. I'm like constantly sheathing and unsheathing the Master Sword here. Ooh, I hate it. Okay, we'll get another weak point break here, probably. Assuming nothing dumb happened. Well, something dumb happened. No more weak point break. He teleported away. Okay, now we'll weak point break him, though. Or weak point smash. I keep calling things by the wrong terms. But whatever. Yeah, no way I'm risking getting that in time. No way. Oh my goodness. Well, guess I'm using another one. We're at 4 or 6 healing items left. A little bit more than I would have let. Well, darn it. Well, that was not the one I wanted to use. I want to conserve my healing items, but like, I mean, I could always exit the thing and then like gradually restore health out here. Where are my allies anyway? Why are you guys like not get? You want to get in there? Go. Go. Yeah, that's right. Get in there. How about the rest of you? I'm in there. We're working super hard. Get. I can't push you. Oh, Urbosa's not following. What the heck? Get. You guys are all just chilling out here. If only I could order you around as well. Also, Impa still is not going to work. She's like stuck or something. What? No, what? No, what the? What is this? What secrets do you hold? What is this, huh? Hey, food items! Link can use that. I mean... yeah, freaking get over there. I had to take control for them to not be stuck. Weird. Very strange. The AI in this game is very odd sometimes. Sometimes it definitely be odd. I could always, like, fight him as Impa temporarily or something. Probably put those clones on too early. They're not going to last by the time I get there. Almost certainly not. I don't think. Yeah, maybe they'll follow along if we get everybody in there. So I think Link's probably going to be back in there again. Except since it's an AI, we don't have to worry about him taking damage anymore. Well, I mean... Well, yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, and we can't force the weak point gauge to be out on the Link one because, whoa! Yeah, I should probably just use healing items on Link himself. But at least my additional allies are here now. Is the thing, at least. Well. Well. Yeah, well, let's do that. Where's the other Link, huh? There he is. Yeah, I gotta take him out of the picture. And hope that, like, Astor doesn't kill me in the meantime. He was trying to there. Yeah, I might just straight up do this just to make sure that he's out of the picture. Because Astor I can deal with on his own. And now we've got a whole bunch of nerds in here. Now we have... Dang, I got there a little bit late. So that should make a... No, it doesn't make a weak point gauge. That one should, though. Yep. Yep, Baru. How about you don't do that? So everything is under control for now. Curse you! Dang it, not breaking it right now. The game's lagging a little bit with how much stuff is going on. Stop. Whittling down his health here bit by bit. That doesn't make a weak point gauge appear. Woo! That one does, I know. Well, come on. Come on, come on. There we go. Jeez, is this enough? What? Oh. Okay. Started my triumph was long ago. How dare you try to efface it? It's withdrawn for now. Same with Don't tell me we're gonna have to fight him at Harbinger again at like the same time. Okay, yeah, the Malice Swamp has disappeared. I figured that may happen. I'm Calamity Ganon's right hand, an emissary of fate itself. I cannot be beaten. Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't defeat them before. We asked her, and oh, we do have to do them together, don't we? They're oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is absolutely crazy. Don't know why you expect me to do these things, game. Don't know how you expect me to do them. Don't know why you expect me to do them. Don't know why they couldn't have each just been like actually defeated earlier. Okay, well, we point smash you. Okay, we got a regular guardian over here. Oh no, it's a turret one too. Wait, how do I get over there? Okay, we got a bridge over. Oh, hey, another healing item. Thank goodness for that. I'm gonna need a lot of those. I feel like I'm definitely going to need a lot of those. Wow. Okay, and then we can weak point smash and take you out in one fell swoop, most likely. Nice, very nice. Yeah, my allies just kind of ran ahead. So I guess that's the order that I gave them. Meanwhile, these guys will be making their way over event. Hey, full healing items. They're not baked apples, but they're apples at least. So, I mean, yeah, they're literally right next to each other.
How? The great Calamity Ganon selected me! This humiliation cannot be my destiny! It cannot be! Hear me, Calamity Ganon! It's time for you to devour these!
What the heck? Also, very quickly, I'm going to adjust this downward a little bit more. So it killed Astor, took his power, and now it's possessed the little guardian too. So we have to fight the oh my goodness, defeat the controlled guardian. Okay, so at least we don't have to worry about Ganon right now. That form though! Like, what did we just see there? Don't tell me we have to, like, destroy the little guardian here. Hopefully we can just, like, save it? I hope. Let's do that again. So, this whole time it had some weapons in it, I guess. Just kind of chilling, just like the level 1 of several of the ancient weapons or whatever the heck from Breath of the Wild. What the heck? Defeat the controlled guardian. I don't know why you don't have like a health bar at the top or something. I don't want to risk it. Dang it. I tried to time it. I jumped a little bit because the timing was a little bit strange. Stop. I'm glad that this combo works against you as well, though. What are you doing, Input, huh? What you doing? Yikes. Whoa. What the heck? Okay. Let me do that. Oh my goodness, the game is lagging so much. There goes a sizable chunk of my health, at least. Yeah, the game very much is not like this, huh? It very much is not like this. My arrows have stopped working. What the heck? I love having a quarter heart. My favorite thing ever. Should probably use a healing item at least. I'll use one. I'll use one of them. How about you stop? No! Don't you dare. Yeah, it very much is not like this Aryan segment. Yeah, I feel like if I do that combo, it seems like I'm getting damaged by doing it a lot of the time. So maybe I shouldn't be doing the full thing. Whoa, dang it. Yeah, I can't seem to time it. It's the timing is like different. There's no sound prompt. Yeah, you hit me if I do that combo. So maybe I should just like not do that combo or just do like a lesser version of it like this. My allies are just kind of chilling and watching in the meantime. Dang, I meant to do the backflip version. Oh crap, don't kill me. Don't you dare. Okay. Well. Okay then.
get away!
The return of the Calamity has been foretold. As the Princess of Hyrule, your sole focus must be on your training. A toy such as this is merely a distraction.
Please! Please!
I'm sorry.
Terrible. Calamity Ganon. For the sake of Hyrule. For all those harmed and slain. For our future. This is where you fall.
Well, dang. Let me just... Like, I was wondering when they were gonna flush out how she knew the little guardian. I guess literally right at the end. Oh, are we gonna fight in the Sanctum just like in Breath of the Wild, except it's gonna be a very different form for Calamity Ganon? Huh, but I mean, since it is like a robot, I assume that it can just be repaired. Right? I hope so. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're going up to the Sanctum. Okay, I have 5 healing thingamabobs. I mean, I literally could just put the controller down and chill here for like 3,000 years for my hearts to like gradually restore. Yeah, seal Calamity Ganon. Well, if only I had like a more easy way to heal before hopping in there. Okay, you are a very, very different Calamity Ganon. Like, I have no idea what to expect from you. Oh my goodness. That broke my shield and took off some health on top of that, I think. No, that was me healing a quarter heart from the thingy-mabob. Does your weak point gauge not appear? She's impervious to all damage. Unless I need to like play as Zelda or something. Nope, strike down Calamity Ganon for a piece that is... Oh, no, but that's not the answer of how to damage him, though. Yeah, very, very different Calamity Ganon than Breath of the Wild. Power cannot reach it, so this is the true might of Calamity Ganon. I'm gonna hold my shield for now. Because this is a situation.
no more. It is time to end this.
Now our power is within reach. But no, I'm at a quarter heart already. I hate this game difficulty so much. And now the stun gauge is out. Does this combo work on you is the big question of the day. Oh, I messed it up and I'm dead already. Okay, well, we start from here anyway. Okay. My goodness. But again, there's the key part of the little guardian. So maybe it's repairable from there. I mean, okay, yes, this combo does work on you. Good. Also, I love how we had like all the allies in the cutscene, but then it's just my 4 playable ones. Oh crap! You are freaking insane. Ganon, smash! How about you don't? This music though. My goodness, this music though. Okay. Okay, time for a weak point smash. I should probably use a healing item. I mean. And then there's the leitmotifs of all the champions that's gonna play, it sounds like. That's Mipha's leitmotif. I mean, I assume that all the champions ones might play. Maybe. Or it might just be really similar to that. That might all be one big coincidence. Stop. Okay. Yeah, so we can take off at least half in one cycle with my crazy string. I can't use bombs right now. Woo! Stop. Yeah, that's a pretty crazy big AoE. Thank goodness it shows me the area that it's going to affect. Don't know what I'd do if it didn't. Okay, we're gonna back you into this little corner over here. There's a little hidey hole. Boopity bop. Alrighty. We'll do that. I just realized my cameras are still off. What the heck? I did not. I looked over to be like, oh, make sure chat's on and like what Tux is saying is appearing. But then, oops, my cameras were still off. I was too overwhelmed by everything going on. Stop. Yeah, this one combo. Thank goodness I discovered this thing because it is so good. Okay, I'm out of here. Yeah, using stasis like that means I never get to block those kinds of things. Stop. Right where the sun don't shine. Okay, thank goodness he never does fast enough options to interrupt my thing right where I'm most vulnerable. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Time to freaking destroy Calamity Ganon now. Man, imagine if Calamity Ganon was like this in Breath of the Wild. Stop. Like, this is certainly something very different, to say the least. Nice. Nice, nice. Whoops, I messed it up. I messed up my string. Okay, so we didn't get the half of the weak point gauge off that I was hoping we would. Thank goodness it appears after that. So I wonder what the explanation on, like, the Guardian going into Calamity Ganon, making him, like, actually possible to damage is supposed to be. Like, what the explanation behind that is. Is it because it's, like, the time-traveling Guardian? And it has, like, that kind of crazy power? Because if I had to guess an explanation, that would probably be it. Okay. Come on. Well, come on. Can I do it in time? No, I'm not going to do it in time. I'm not going to try. Nice big spins. I approve. Okay, we're doing well so far. We're not doing well so far. Stop. Yeah, adaptive music during boss battles, depending on what's going on, is a cool premise. I mean, there could be. But yeah, adaptive music during boss battles is a cool kind of premise. I don't think it works for this game. I feel like it would be better off if, like, it just stayed consistent with the one theme throughout, rather than changing to something different whenever we're smacking the weak point gauge, you know? Because then it just kind of jumps all crazily and... What? No! Stop! Freaking dab on the haters, Calamity Ganon. Dab on him. Okay, yeah, like, look at that, how it changes like that. It just takes me out of the moment. So I do wish for the music direction that they had just stayed with the one theme instead of doing the adaptive music thing, because it just kind of gets in the way. I feel like... That's my personal take on that. Like, I'd feel a lot more epic if it just stayed playing the typical same final boss theme, which is really darn good. by the way. Like, his music's really good. What? Oh, I've clipped out of bounds here before. The more you know, Calamity Ganon. I kind of know this area by now. I'm definitely a bit familiar with it. That's crazy how you go and fight here then. Oh, memories. Oh, memories of running around here with Link's back being completely broken at the end of Breath of the Wild. That was pretty hilarious, honestly. Too bad we can't break his back here. But alas, well, I messed up the beginning a little bit. Whoa! Oh! What? Yo! What the hell? Okay, he's got some new move. You are freaking so threatening. I wonder if I can force your stun gauge to get out with a rod. I wonder if that would be something worthwhile for me to potentially pursue. There we go. It seems like we can extend that by hitting. Backflip, please, Link. I love how it uses the main leitmotif of this game. Woo. Stop. Return to sender. Uno reverse card. Wha-bam. Yeah, right as the music was getting good, it adapts like that other bit. I don't like the adaptive music of this game. I think that's like my one complaint with the soundtrack of this game. Is the adaptive music. Yeah, these weak point smashes take off so little of your health. 2 healing items left. Yeah, definitely could be. Smackaroo. Okay. We'll be able to extend it. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't be able to extend it without. He's kind of trapped in a corner right now. Yeah, come out here. It'll be easier to fight you in the open. I did that a little bit late, but I mean, we can briefly force the stun gauge to appear like this. Briefly get a little bit more damage in there. I kind of want him to come over here. This is what I certainly wouldn't mind, especially before I run over those other 2 healing items. Okay, nice. Nice, nice. And then, stop. Thank goodness that first strike misses me. Thank goodness for that. Okay. Then we do that and do a weak point smash. Come on, do a freaking weak point smash. Dang it, so a couple more looks like. Return to sender. Smackaroo. How about you don't do that? Yeah, right as the music gets good, it does the adaptive thing. Oh well, what you gonna do? Oh, whoa, that was a very close one right there. Let's get you out of there, please. Come on, come over here. Come on out. Yeah, I love how it uses the main leitmotif of this game throughout the entire adventure. Something Breath of the Wild could have very much learned from. Very much so. We might get your health all the way down normally before doing another weak point break potentially. I mean, oh, it's close. Like, when's the next weak point break gonna be, huh? Here? Here? Will I be able to get down all those notches in time, maybe? The answer is yes. Seal!
Well then, it seems the time has come. I could not be prouder. It was an honor to be of service.
I know you'll lead our people well, Riju.
Thanks for everything, Inobo. We didn't get much time together, but I'll always cherish it.
I will too! It was so much fun. You're the best, Daruk.
This has been enlightening. I even got to see the face behind the champion.
I know that we'll meet again, dear brother.
Yes. You're my beloved sister, and our hearts will never be apart.
I will never forget today's miracles. How all of you fought by my side, and the trials we overcame together. The treasure, our friendship always. And now, as you return to your future, may the light shine upon you for all time.
Well, dang. So this, all in all, was definitely not what I was expecting it to be, to say the least. So this game was marketed as just like, okay, this is the prequel to Breath of the Wild. This is the story of 100 years ago. So it was a complete surprise that it's like, guess what? Joke's on you. It's actually an alternate timeline where they win 100 years ago, thanks to the freaking little time traveling guardian. So I was not expecting that. Wasn't expecting to see the companions there. Wasn't expecting, you know, it to be an ending where the heroes come out on top. I thought it was going to be one where the heroes lose. And honestly, I was kind of, there was a part of me that was kind of looking forward to part of that, because it would be a very unique thing to see a Zelda game where the heroes lose, the freaking Infinity War of Zelda games. That would have been fascinating to see. But as is, that also was a way to make, you know, a satisfying end to things, and like an alternate kind of history of the story of Breath of the Wild, something that could be like more satisfying from the get-go, I guess. It makes me wonder how this is supposed to fit into the timeline, though. Like, I guess this is just supposed to be like an alternate history. Is it gonna be like Ocarina of Time in the timeline, where it splits, where it's like one where the heroes win and one where the heroes lose? Maybe something like that. Alright, so in terms of the story, I would definitely say that's better than Breath of the Wild story, just because Breath of the Wild didn't have that much of a story. It was just little snippets from 100 years ago. I made a 3-hour essay on this topic. So yeah, I'd say nearly anything would be a better story than Breath of the Wild, most likely. But this was like finally an opportunity to flush out the champions, instead of being like, well, you get one dedicated cutscene for each of them. Two, I guess, if you count like freeing the Divine Beast. A couple where they're all in a group thing, and then that's literally all you see of them and their personalities, and then just like take your word for it that like this is what they're like, instead of being able to see it firsthand like we got to see in this game. So this was like more of an opportunity to do that. And I wish that Breath of the Wild had more characters that actually had a presence within the plot, instead of just being like, well, they existed at one point and did things in the past, but like doesn't really impact what's going on right now. there wasn't enough characters that impacted what was going on right now in Breath of the Wild. There wasn't much story in the here and now of Breath of the Wild. It was almost completely the bits and pieces from 100 years ago. So the story of that definitely really fell short for me in Breath of the Wild, but was able to finally be more flushed out here. And it had so many dang cutscenes. Like, this is the most cinematic a Zelda game has ever been. There's literally like 2+ hours of cutscenes in this game, which is a stark contrast to Breath of the Wild's like 45 minutes or something like that it has. And to have them all fully voice acted. Like, Breath of the Wild experimented with some voice acting for those like full-on cinematic cutscenes, but most of its cutscenes were still, for the most part, the typical Zelda format where it was like text at the bottom of the screen, read it, press A to advance it, and like not like fully cinematic. There's just like kind of pre-made animations, and it's just something really, really simple essentially. So it was really interesting how Breath of the Wild did experiment with trying out some of the crazier cinematic cutscenes, which was a first for the series, even if it didn't do like a lot of them. And then this game doesn't have any kinds of cutscenes that are just like, here's the character speaking, press A to progress it. It was just full on, everything's a cinematic cutscene with full voice acting and everything, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. My big complaint about the cutscenes is the audio leveling has to be some of the worst audio leveling I've seen in any game in my life. The music was so much louder than the speaking, like half the time, and there were so many instances where I wouldn't even realize that they were speaking if there wasn't subtitles at the bottom, which, that's like one of those basic things that is like, how do you get that wrong? Is there gonna be a cutscene after this? Okay, why are you breaking the credits then? Okay, yeah, that's my big complaint with the cutscenes is, how do you get audio leveling wrong? Like, just adjust the volume levels enough when you're putting it to... Like, that is one of those mistakes where it's just like, it's such a brain-dead, stupid mistake that has such big impacts that freaking Nintendo and Koei Tecmo couldn't be bothered to do anything about. So, like, that is a big, big complaint for me. Music was absolutely fantastic. I guess I'll continue giving my review in a hot second. I'm gonna see if there's anything after the credits first, just in case. Oh. What was that blue light? Is that supposed to signify that the little guardian was being brought back? Hold on, you what? Oh, come on! Get rid of that thing and then, like, yeah, sure. Cool. Oh, crap, man. There. Whatever. Oh, come on! What's things without a plus on them? Sure. Hey, I'm tracking that one. Oh my goodness, we got so many extra dishes. Vegetable omelet, EXP plus 8%. Nice, this home-style dish mixes fluffy eggs with chopped vegetables for a nutritional balance. All stats plus 5%, but max health minus 10%. It's said that once you have a taste of this cake, you'll never forget its sweetness. Monster curry, all stats plus 10%, but max health minus 25%. This unusual take on curry uses monster extract and doesn't rely on spices. Damage plus 10%. This meat has been cooked in crushed peppers to accent its natural taste. And now there's a much calmer version of the main leitmotif playing. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so calming. I love how the title screen has adapted as this has gone on. Anyway, so yeah, that's my view when it comes to the story. When it comes to the music, this game is one of the best games that I've seen at using recurring leitmotifs to symbolize the adventure changing over time, which more games should do, and Breath of the Wild kind of attempted to do it, but like not really. So a leitmotif is essentially like a tune or set of notes or something like that that can be reused in different contexts. For example, the main theme of this game is basically like those 4 notes of do 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 do, which can be used in like really epic contexts in the do 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 for like the final boss themes, or something really calming like this. That is an example of a leitmotif. And the main theme leitmotif of this game was used freaking everywhere in so many different contexts. It was fantastic to symbolize like how things are changing in the same adventure. It was brilliant. As well, the champion leitmotifs were reused in so many incredible ways. So first of all, they were used in like the champions kind of battle themes when initially recruiting them and doing like missions around them, which I thought was already really cool. But then it also played in like the heavier context when you were saving them and fighting the blights. Like imagine in Breath of the Wild if as you were fighting Windblight Ganon, you had a music theme that was like an epic remix of Rivali's theme. As you fought Waterblight Ganon, you had a theme that was an epic remix of Mipha's theme. But no, Breath of the Wild was just like generic, you're fighting a big bad, which it doesn't make you remember the music of the situation and the situation at hand. It just makes you remember that you fought a big bad. It doesn't feel like a culmination of your journey up to that point. But with Age of Calamity actually using the leitmotifs of the champions in those battles to save them and battling against the blights, in addition to using the leitmotif of the adventure itself, those battle themes were a mix between the leitmotif of the game of Age of Calamity, along with the champions leitmotif as well for each of them, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, because it's like the music itself is saying, this is your adventure building up to like this final bout, this final gambit for this champion in question, is basically what the music is saying by factoring both those themes in that way, and it is an absolutely brilliant use of leitmotifs, essentially. So I loved how those were both used throughout it. And there's also other leitmotifs that were used in it, such as Zelda's Lullaby being one of the themes that the Guardian was playing. It would play in some of the sadder cutscenes as well, as a leitmotif that's been present throughout the Zelda series. As well, the main Legend of Zelda theme was also another leitmotif that this game used and factored into several of its themes. Most notably, Link's theme, which is a mix between the Breath of the Wild theme and the Age of Calamity theme, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. And it was also used in several other contexts, also related to Link, so I guess you could argue that it's kind of like Link's theme. This game kind of treats the Legend of Zelda theme as Link's theme, essentially, and combines it with the Age of Calamity theme to basically be like, this is how your journey has like led up to this. This game has to be one of the greatest games for its use of leitmotifs I've ever played, honestly. It was absolutely fantastic on that front. In terms of gameplay, there have been a lot of changes since the original Hyrule Warriors. In the original Hyrule Warriors, the thing that stands out most to me is the original Hyrule Warriors had its levels feel like very blocky. There was like all the keeps that were perfect squares. They were very much like levels, it felt almost like, or stages. Whereas the environments of this game actually felt like real environments. Like there wasn't the forced symmetry that the original Hyrule Warriors had. Like it actually felt like real natural environments. And outposts in this game, which are the equivalent of keeps from the original Hyrule Warriors, are like all kinds of different shapes and sizes and actually feel like little fortresses, instead of just being a set of 4 walls with the little crystals that spawn troops for whatever side it's owned by. So the world felt so much more genuine and real than in the original Hyrule Warriors. In the original Hyrule Warriors, it felt like stages, whereas this actually felt like a world. It felt alive, it felt genuine, like you're actually going around these various environments, and you've got stages like Akala Tower or Hyrule Castle that are like multi-level, and you've got all these kinds of corridors that the original Hyrule Warriors wouldn't have dared to try to do, because they're just like big passageways between the keeps and then square keeps, and that's all levels are. Which like works from the perspective of like designing basic levels, but now it's like design or taking from Breath of the Wild the real world, the genuine feeling world of it, and turning it into environments that you're fighting around that now feels like real, genuine environments instead of just like levels, essentially, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. One of the biggest changes to gameplay from the original Hyrule Warriors to this game is the mechanics of the dashes, or the dodges. In the original Hyrule Warriors, they would give you invincibility frames, so as long as you understood the enemy attack patterns and such, and you knew when it was gonna strike when and like what tells to look out for, you could literally dash directly through any attack, and the invincibility frames would save you from all harm. So in the original Hyrule Warriors, it would come to a point where you would just like basically never, like if you're playing the original Hyrule Warriors at a high level, then you're basically never ever using the shield button for any reason, and you're using the dashes invincibility frames to dodge through things. Whereas this game does not have invincibility frames with its dashes unless you get the perfect timing, Flurry Rush timing, in which case you run in and do a Flurry Rush, and in that case you can dodge directly through the enemy's attacks. But otherwise, the dash doesn't actually save you from damage if you're dodging through things, meaning you actually have to try to use your dashes to avoid attacks now, unlike the original game, which was just like, press B when it attacks and you're gonna be safe from like all damage and never have to worry about getting hit ever, basically. Like in this game, you actually had to play more strategically, as if you're actually trying to dodge attacks instead of just being like, I can just run through it for free with invincibility frames. And it made the battles feel more genuine because of that. Like you're actually having to try your ass off against some of these crazy enemies, and made it much more engaging and much more stressful than the original Hyrule Warriors, where you could just kind of coast through everything by spamming the dash button a whole bunch. This game, you actually had to have these intense and crazy battles and actually really push your game skill and stuff. And the additional features that this game has, like the Sheikah runes, like stasis stuff like that I was factoring into several combos, along with having to dash to actually dodge enemy attacks when they're super fast and there's multiple enemies at once, had this game feel like, like one of few games that has like really pushed my game skill. Like the 2 games I've played this year that I feel like have really pushed my game skill have been Astral Chain, which came out last year but I only played this year, and then this game, where like I actually had to try my ass off to, you know, get through this. It was absolutely insane. I was playing on the hardest difficulty, but still, I actually had to try super hard and try to play this at a high level. Like, it's been a long time since I've had games that have, you know, done that for me. Like, I guess Breath of the Wild technically did as well, but the high skill stuff that I was trying in that game were glitches and tricks and crazy stuff that you wouldn't do in normal gameplay. I'm just talking about, like, what the developers have made for standard normal gameplay here, rather than unintended mechanics and glitches like in Breath of the Wild, where the skill ceiling for that game is immensely high, but, like, you know, in ways that the developers never intended. This is in ways the developers did intend. I mean, I don't know if the developers intended the freaking Rod infinite loop combo that I was able to discover and do, that I might potentially even debate about you doing a YouTube guide on before somebody beats me to the chase after discovering it. So I thought that was absolutely fantastic. One of the other really great changes from the original Hyrule Warriors is in the original Hyrule Warriors, there were items that you could use against various enemies that were effective against them, or times that you would have to specifically use certain items against certain bosses. Kind of like this game had with the Sheikah runes, only the items in the original Hyrule Warriors were in like a little menu where you'd only have one thing assigned to the ZR button at once, and to change between them, you would have to hit left and right on the D-pad to select different ones. So like if I wanted the hook shot, I'd have to like do left and right on the D-pad to scan to the hook shot, and now it's on the ZR button. But there's an enemy right beside me who needs the boomerang, so I'd have to press left and right on the D-pad to navigate to the boomerang until it's what's on ZR. And it was just an annoying, tedious process. Whereas this game, you hold the R button, and you have all 4 item options right there, and mapped onto different buttons, so you can do any option instantly. Unlike the original Hyrule Warriors, where you only have one equipped at a time, and you literally have to take like a couple seconds to press left and right on the D-pad to equip a different one to be currently using. So the addition of that little hop menu in order to do that, same with like the rods and the food items that was added as like other items, was an absolutely brilliant change that lets you use any one of those 8 options between the 4 runes, the 3 rods, and the healing items instantly on the spot without having to go through like a little D-pad menu like the original Hyrule Wars, which was an absolutely fantastic change. All the characters in this game feel a lot more balanced in terms of them being good in this game than the original Hyrule Warriors. In the original Hyrule Warriors, there were characters that either sucked or fit very specific niche kind of settings, like Agatha, where she could potentially like beetle loop some enemies like over and over again without them having much chance of escaping. But apart from that, her AoE sucked. Everything about her sucked. So there were a handful of characters in the original Hyrule Warriors where it's like, why would you ever play them unless the game forces you to, because they're freaking god-awful. Whereas this game felt like it did take much more time to like flush out every character to the point that everybody is good in their own way, and is just generally like so much better than in the original game. Like in the original game, for like the Master Sword in the original game was arguably way stronger than it is in this game. But for the other weapon types in the original Hyrule Warriors, there were a lot of different weapon types for Link. The best was the Master Sword. There were other things that were like generally kind of good, like the Fire Rod, and there were things on him that just kind of sucked, and like, why would you ever use those when you can use other weapon types? Whereas in this game, all 3 of his weapon types were like really dang good and all of good AoE, unlike the original game where it's like some of them are just gonna suck, and why would you use them instead of like the Master Sword or other really good weapons on Link like the Fire Rod? Like, why would you ever do that? Whereas in this game, all 3 of his different weapon types were like really fleshed out. I stuck with one-handed weapon Link because of like the crazy strings that I figured out with that were possible, especially because of the bow. But in terms of like a general casual gameplay standpoint where you're not breaking things in half with a stasis and a lot of bow shots, then all 3 of the weapon types are going to wind up being really, really good. And yes, indeed, Huxcore, we just wrapped up the game. I'm basically giving my full review of the game now, essentially. So I thought that was absolutely fantastic. The diversity of characters was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. There might even be some other characters that I haven't unlocked yet. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. Maybe there's even secret cutscenes that I haven't unlocked. I might have to do some research into things, we'll see. But the characters that are there as is way more than I thought it was going to be, especially after it factored in the companions from Breath of the Wild, which I didn't think that it would be doing. So, something that I was worried about was, unlike the original Hyrule Warriors, they might not have enough different characters to make like a really diverse roster and such. But then they did it anyway. Like by the end here, I had like 13 something, no, 15? 16? I've had a, definitely had a handful of characters. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was technically kind of quick. I mean, today is the 25th of November, if you count it being after midnight. Oh, the music's different. Oh, there's a thing for the Little Guardian there? Oh, there's multiple Little Guardian things? Is this like a side quest line that like brings it back? Oh, the music's so good though. Oh, more rune upgrades for like stasis? Terrico repairs. By collecting ancient parts and gaining the aid of the people of Hyrule, you will surely be able to repair Terrico. Obtain Zelda, Mipha, Daruk, Revali, and Urbosa's attire? Tire? Huh. Repair Terrico. You hope to revive Terrico, so work with everyone to collect parts that could do the job. With hard work and hope, you might just bring your little friend back to life. So we're definitely not done with this game yet. Far from it. Huh. So I assume maybe we get those from like specific missions or something like that? Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So there's gotta be a little bit more to it because of that. So I guess we're not done with things here yet. Is a thing. Hold on, I'm gonna wrap up my thoughts about like the gameplay here. I typically don't rate things out of 10 myself because it's like, what do you compare it to? Is a thing. Like, for example, in Taekwondo festival events, which is basically like track and field for Taekwondo, that my dojang and some other dojangs around the city do, what we do is when we're rating people's poomsays, which is a set of patterns, right at the very first person who goes out of like 4, we'll all just immediately rate them 7, no matter how well they did, no matter how fantastic they did or how poorly they did, we're gonna rate them 7. So that every person after that, we can rate based on that. So if the next one is worse than that, we'll rate it like 6 point something. If the next one's better than that, we'll rate it 7 point something. So we just use like the initial 7 to start it. So I might do that by giving it like Breath of the Wild a 7 and then basing this off of that, if that makes sense or something like that. Anyway, in terms of the gameplay, I do feel like this kind of map layout is not quite as satisfying to go around 100%ing and doing everything in as the adventure map of the original Hyrule Warriors, which had like all these tiles and a whole bunch of like ranks and items to collect on everything like that. Like that thing was super satisfying to see it come together, but this is still a format where it is still quite a bit satisfying to like see this all come together, turn all the things blue or gray, get it all hammed out bit by bit across this whole map. So I don't think the map is as satisfying as the original kind of map, but with what they did with the Breath of the Wild map, I think is really good and still like really satisfying here to be collecting things. What do I need here? What the heck? Oh, I need this for something. I might need these for something later. I don't know. Sure that. So there's that. I also thought it was fascinating how, like, for the characters' combos and such, you get them as the story goes on by getting stuff like this, unlike the original Hyrule Warriors, where you would get the entire character string almost right off the bat, because typically all it would take is, like, a couple very cheap and easy to get monster parts that you would usually have anyway. So typically any time that you would recruit any new character in the original Hyrule Warriors, it's just like, bam, you can unlock their entire combo right there with just like a handful of really, really basic monster parts. Whereas in this game, like, they're unlocked bit by bit throughout the world, and there's a lot of materials that go into unlocking them. So instead of having all your characters get their combos like immediately right off the bat, you actually gradually earn them and make your character stronger as it goes on, which I honestly think is a better way to go about things and makes it more satisfying to get those instead of just like, basic, here's these basic monster parts and then the whole thing's just unlocked right, like that right on the spot. Also, I guess we're gonna get even less cooldown on our things, which is gonna make my stasis loops the most OP thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, I've said most of what I can think of. The seal system is really fascinating and leveling up weapons and such. I do like the little quest kind of descriptions on each of these. When I was talking about the character diversity, I can also, yeah, like how many characters do I have now? So yeah, we literally have like 15 from what I can tell by like eyeballing it, which, you know, this might even wind up being more. I think it's cool how there's secret characters like Monk Maz Koshia. I think it's neat how you wind up getting playable characters like Master Koga, who's like super fun, and I can't wait to see what the rest of his combos are. I can't wait to like learn Sidon way better, because he's the freaking best, you know? So we've still got a whole lot of stuff to go here. I think the max level's probably like 100 or something like that from what data miners found when the game initially came out, so like it might be true, it might be something more, well, or less, we'll see. Wait, when it said that I got, no, it said that I got costumes for like the champions or something like that.
You have a lot to look forward to.
Oh. Ah, so we can literally just toggle like the champion scarf look is all that means. Okay, gotcha.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, so we just toggle that on and off. Cool. I should also mention when it comes to the music, I think it's fantastic how the music adapted throughout the story for like the overworld theme. How it started out kind of hopeful, you're going on adventure, stuff like that, and then it became like really, really grim and like disheartening and like the characters are gonna lose. And then at the end here, it's like really, really calming. Like you've won peace, all is well in the world. Like you can relax now, all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was really fascinating how the music adapted as this went on. I think that's like most of my thoughts. There's probably like some other things that I could mention here. Oh, when it comes to gameplay, the system of like getting the food items and keeping those and it carries from mission to mission, I don't think I like that. So I think the only things that I didn't like when it came to this game was the system of like the food and stuff and how difficult it was for me to restore health, especially in very hard mode. How many hearts the enemies take off in very hard mode when they basically two-shot you? I feel like that's a little bit ridiculous and it should be a little bit more toned down. I mean, it is the hardest difficulty in the game, but like it shouldn't be like that. Well, I mean, I guess it's feasible considering I beat the game in very hard, but like yikes. Oh, another complaint. There should be a freaking restart from last checkpoint option in a mission, or as well as just like restart while changing your character or changing your game difficulty, instead of having to literally back all the way out of the mission in order to like change your character or difficulty. Or if you want to restart from last checkpoint, having to just stand around and let yourself lose all your hearts to restart from last checkpoint, instead of just being able to go into the menu and restart from last checkpoint. That's another one of those things that should be like a no-brainer from like the game design that just wasn't included, and I'm like, what, why? So there's those three things. Audio leveling in the cutscenes is freaking abysmal and some of the worst I've seen out of any game ever. Like, how hard is it to make the voices louder than the music in the cutscene? Like, why can you not be bothered to do that? Like, that's one of those things that's like a no-brainer. It's like, why is this even an issue in the first place? It shouldn't be, and it's just unforgivable. So I have 4 big problems with the game. 4, I guess, unless I can think of like other things. But as it stands, I believe, off the top of my head, those are my 4 big problems with the game. Oh, 5 actually! Rudania freaking sucks! Like, my goodness! And the difficulty of the very hard Divine Beast missions is just dumb. Same with like, oh, I guess 6 then, because the timing-based missions for very hard difficulty was ridiculous, where it's like defeat so many enemies in this time limit, or defeat this enemy in this time limit, just because they would have so much health on very hard that it would become darn near impossible to do stuff like that. And it seems like it probably wasn't play tested with regard to the very hard difficulty. Okay, so I have 6 complaints about the game. Apart from those 6 complaints, I think everything was absolutely fantastic, and I really, really, really enjoyed this game, quite frankly. Like, it was way better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I honestly enjoyed this way more than I thought I was going to. And I was already hyped for this game before it came out. This was honestly a really, really cool experience. Like, I typically don't rate things out of 10. If I had to there, from that Question Hawk's corner, I'd say maybe, like, either 8.5 or 9. I feel like those problems that I have, like, really hold it back when a lot of them are just, like, no-brainer, very, very small issues that could literally just be fixed with the game being patched, but probably aren't going to be, knowing how, like, these things typically go, which is unfortunate. But best case scenario, they would be patched. The most outstanding thing of this, very much like Astral Chain for me, was like the gameplay and how much it really pushed my skill. Like, I look at this and like the whole gameplay experience and I'm like, that right there was a damn fine game, let me tell you right now. That right there is a damn fine video game. Like, my goodness, that was real good. Yeah, the game sounds like a great 8.5 out of 10, easily based on your expressions. This game looks like a big upgrade from the first one. I think that... Can I think of any ways in which the original Hyrule Warriors was better than this one? Apart from, like, you know, the characters in it and stuff like that, obviously, since those are going to be different. Honestly, I think that they took the original Hyrule Warriors and used it as an absolutely incredible learning experience to make this game as good as they could, which was incredible to see, and I really enjoyed playing this. If I had to compare it to Breath of the Wild, I don't think it would be fair to do that system of, like, give Breath of the Wild a 7 and then rate this game based around that, like, as an entire game experience, but I can in individual regards. So, story. Let's say that Breath of the Wild story was a 7. Then the story of this would be like a solid 9 or 9.5. If I'm setting Breath of the Wild to a default of 7 as a comparison. And then I'd say this one would be either like a 9 or a 9.5. Because the problem with Breath of the Wild story was the story in the present of Breath of the Wild is go get the Divine Beasts, kill Ganon, save Zelda. That's the whole story of Breath of the Wild. And most of what you do is just going around, like, screwing around in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. Which, don't get me wrong, in Breath of the Wild, going around screwing around in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere is a hell of a lot of fun. But it just doesn't make it for a good story. Almost all of the story of Breath of the Wild is little bits and pieces from 100 years ago. Which, by the way, you can get in literally any order, pretty much. Which makes the story even more confusing than it already is by cutting it up into little bits and pieces you only get snippets of, making things super hard to understand, and making it so that... Okay, let me just say that in a lot of previous Zelda games, you do have a companion who accompanies you throughout the journey and potentially changes as the story goes on. The best example of this being Midna from Twilight Princess, but there's also other strong examples such as Fi or Fi from Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild doesn't have anybody that accompanies you on your journey, it's just Link on his own, except for like the 4 main Divine Beast quests around the world, where you get one companion, which we have now in the game, which is Teba, or Tiba, or whatever the heck, Yonobo, Riju, and Sidon, and each of them only get like a little bit of screen time, essentially, so they don't get any time to like develop or anything like that. Like, I guess Yonobo finds his courage a little bit. They don't have any time to develop. You don't really have a whole lot of time to really get a feel for like these characters, like in a deeper kind of way. You just kind of see them on the surface, and that's all you ever get. And it's the same kind of thing for the champions. So instead of having one companion character throughout the story, like games such as Twilight Princess or say Skyward Sword, you've got literally 8 supporting characters, 8 main supporting characters, 4 champions, 4 companions, each of which gets next to no screen time, and you only get to understand them on a surface level. Whereas the story of this, you're actually able to... In Breath of the Wild, you only got to see... There was only one dedicated cutscene for each champion, 2 if you count freeing them. And then there's like a couple snippets of them interacting with like the others, but you barely get to see any of it. Whereas this game, you get several cutscenes where you see all the champions interacting with one another, and you get a better feel for like their personalities, their synergy for one another, which you got like next to none of in Breath of the Wild, and you actually get to see them as genuine people in this game rather than just as like figures to exist in a couple of cutscenes that give you some exposure into the past, which is basically what they were in Breath of the Wild. So, and it also did an incredible job of subverting expectations by being like, yep, this is a prequel, the heroes are gonna lose, aha, psych, joke's on you! This is an alternate timeline where the heroes are gonna win and everything's gonna work out. And if you wanted to see how the companions interact with the champions that you would have never gotten the chance to in Breath of the Wild, then here you go, here's a chance of getting to see them interact. Which I thought was really cool. I feel like, I guess another problem that I have with this, another complaint that I do have with the story of this, is it assumes that you've played Breath of the Wild, is a thing. Like, it doesn't put you into this world from a fresh perspective, explaining what the Guardians are, explaining what the Divine Beasts are, explaining what Calamity Ganon is. Like, it assumes that you know this from Breath of the Wild already, instead of explaining at a new surface level. And I really wish that it would have explained it from the surface level. But then after the companions came in, it suddenly made more sense why the game would assume that you've played Breath of the Wild, because then that would mean that you'd recognize the companion characters and be able to see these interactions and stuff. So, if Breath of the Wild's story is a 7, just as like a general kind of standard thing for it to have, I would honestly rate it way less than that if it was like fully out of 10. But if I just rate it 7 out of 10 for comparison's sake, then this game's story would be like a 9.5, something like that in comparison. I would definitely say, like, this game, as I explained so many times over, improved so many things over the plot of Breath of the Wild and was able to, you know, have a plot of its own, unlike Breath of the Wild was just like, I don't have a plot of my own, here's a story from like the past, I guess, that you get in bits and pieces. Music. There are very different styles for music in this game and in Breath of the Wild, and like this one's meant to always be like intense kind of battles most of the time, whereas Breath of the Wild is about like exploring a world. But if anybody's seen me ramble on about Breath of the Wild before, they'll know that I despise most of Breath of the Wild soundtrack, because I have timed the intervals for some of the music themes, where, like, the intervals between notes playing, and there are literally spans of upwards of like 17 or something seconds between notes playing. It's like, I know that you want to go for atmospheric, but I don't think the right play to go for atmospheric is by having music almost not exist, like, ever, and just having the world be almost completely silent, like 99% of the time. I feel like a really good example of a game that does atmospheric music right is Octopath Traveler, with me thinking of themes like the Riverlands as a really good example of this. Because a lot of people will see me complain about like this music of Breath of the Wild and be like, oh, you just don't like it because it's not like previous Zelda games, where it's things like Twilight Princess's Hyrule Field, where it's like super adventurous and like you're gonna get there and you're gonna do the thing and like super in your face and stuff like that. My problem is not that Breath of the Wild soundtrack was not super adventurous in your face, is that they went for atmospheric music and I think they handled it incorrectly, with other games such as Octopath Traveler, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon even, being excellent examples of how to do atmospheric music right, where, like, it doesn't have to be next to Gone, like Breath of the Wild soundtrack, to be atmospheric. There's examples like Octopath Traveler's Riverlands is the best example that I can find of this, where it's like constantly active music, there's constantly stuff playing, but it's not in your face, it's not intrusive. It's just there in the background and helps to paint a picture of the world around you. Unlike Breath of the Wild is just like, what's music? What's that? Breath of the Wild also attempted to use leitmotifs, sort of? So like, the trailer theme for Breath of the Wild, the do-do-do-do-do, that tune, it would make sense if that was used as the journey went on to like symbolize the journey, but like, it only plays in the trailer, the final boss theme, and very, very faintly and very subtly in a couple of the flashback memory cutscenes. So a leitmotif, as you continue to hear this theme as the adventure goes on, should serve to signify to you as the player that this adventure has changed. Like, you have this familiar tune playing in a completely different context that gives you that familiarity, but it's completely different. That signifies to you and symbolizes that this adventure has changed. So Breath of the Wild, if it had used that leitmotif throughout the entire journey, would have been fantastic. And it's especially great when games use a recurring leitmotif in their final boss theme, because it's like, okay, you've heard this theme throughout the adventure. Now you're hearing it in an epic final battle kind of format to signify that this is like the end, this is the grand finale. And Breath of the Wild does use that theme in its final boss theme, but it sucks for a few reasons. One, the leitmotif is not recurring throughout the adventure, it's used in the trailer, and the devs and Nintendo has the audacity to call it the main theme of the game, when it basically doesn't actually exist in the game in question, but yet somehow they call it the main theme, which doesn't make sense to me. So it doesn't use the... When you play this leitmotif in the final boss theme, it's not gonna be you remembering your adventure up to this point, it's gonna be you remembering the trailer, because that's the only other place where that leitmotif had a strong presence. So instead of it being like, wow, this is like the culmination of my journey, instead the leitmotif of Breath of the Wild is like, oh, that was a cool trailer back then, wasn't it? And if you've never even seen the trailer, then the leitmotif is literally meaningless. So there's that. Also, there's a crazy piano guy having a seizure in Breath of the Wild's final boss theme, which plays literally not even in time with the foreground, which is like, did they try to mess it up? Did somebody have a seizure on a piano? Literally, what's the story behind this? So Breath of the Wild tried to use a leitmotif like that and failed. There is another instance where Breath of the Wild used leitmotifs, and that is through the champion themes, where... And we saw kind of examples of that in this game as well. So in Breath of the Wild, the champion themes, every champion would have a theme behind them. And the corresponding companion, with like the champion companion pairs being Mipha and Sidon, Daruk and Yunobo, Rivali and Teba, and Urbosa and Riju. So they would use a leitmotif for the champion initially, and then use a variation on it for the equivalent companion, which on its own is like honestly oh sorry, the Dougie Cam blocks it, which on its own is already a really cool idea and like a really awesome use of music. And I think the best case of that is Sidon and Mipha, who like is probably one of the hardest to actually hear the leitmotif connection in, because they're played in completely different ways. Like for Mipha, it's like so calm, like do 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 do. But for Sidon, it's like so charming and like in your face and catchy. It's like do 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 do. But it's the exact same set of notes, which is really really cool. So Sidon and Mipha share a really good leitmotif connection. Urbosa and Riju share a leitmotif connection. Rivali and Teba share a leitmotif connection, though for Teba's theme, it's literally a set of notes that's literally like 16 seconds long, and that 16 seconds is all Teba's theme is, so it's like, what the heck is the point of having it be 16 seconds? But then there's Daruk and Yunobo, who don't share a leitmotif connection. So the developers of Breath of the Wild, for 3 out of 4 champion companion pairs, made a leitmotif connection. But then by the time they got to Daruk and Yunobo, they were like, you know what? This idea is stupid. Let's give Daruk like recycled trailer music and then create like something different and just kind of dumb and whimsical for Yunobo. And that's what they did. So I've also mentioned how if you use a main theme throughout the game and in the trailers, it's like a cool signifier of your adventures. And that's what Age of Calamity did. It had like these trailer themes and these main themes that were both used throughout the adventure. Like, I heard all these battle themes throughout this game that did use the same kind of leitmotifs as the trailers, which I thought was really cool. You know what's not really cool is other bots that I have to ban. So when you have a theme in a trailer, if you're going to use it in a game, it should represent like the entire journey as it goes on. Breath of the Wild's trailers had 2 main leitmotifs. One was used very, very slightly in some of the flashback memory cutscenes, and then using the final boss theme, like, we hope you were paying attention during the flashback memory cutscenes to notice it very faintly in the background, and notice it during the trailers. And the other leitmotif used during the trailers wasn't used anywhere during your adventure. It was given to Daruk. Part of Daruk's theme is one of the themes from the trailers, which is like, so weird, where like, if you have a leitmotif in a trailer, it's either, and you use it in the game afterwards, it's typically going to represent the journey, your main character, one of the main supporting characters, like in which case would say be Zelda, as like the 2 main characters of Breath of the Wild in this game would be Link and Zelda. But instead, They were like, well, you've literally got 4 champions here. We are going to reuse this one leitmotif specifically for this one out of the 4. And that's also going to be the one that we don't have there be a leitmotif connection between the champion companion pair. Like, there's so many instances of the music in Breath of the Wild where it's just like, what the hell were they smoking at the studios? In so many instances like that. It makes you wonder really what was going on. Whereas, compare that to Age of Calamity. Age of Calamity had a main theme that you literally hear all the time, including on this menu, that is used throughout the entire journey. The do-do-do-do. That theme, it's used in really calm contexts like this. It's used in really, really epic contexts. It's used in conjunction with all of the champions' themes when you're rescuing them, which is the music telling you that this is the journey building up to like the final stand of these champions, which is really cool. It's used in Link's theme, which also uses the leitmotif of the Legend of Zelda series, which is absolutely incredible. So it's basically like this is like the culmination of like the series up to this point and the culmination of this journey up to this point. It's so cool. It's a really cool use of that. And the other kind of main themes from the trailer of this game, I heard it all over the place during battles of this as well, which is what Breath of the Wild could have done by having its leitmotif from the trailers be present throughout the journey. So it's like a reminder and symbolizing the journey changing as it goes on, instead of, you know, instead of only using it during the final boss and very slightly in flashback memory cutscenes. As well, just everything about the music there. Alright, let me just say, when it comes to music rating, if we go with 7 as standard and say that Breath of the Wild is at like a 7, then Age of Calamity is at like 11 out of 10. If Breath of the Wild is a 7 out of 10. But yeah, game looks more fun than the first game, and you wish you had to switch for this, but unfortunately don't. Maybe someday if they get a couple more games you actually want. There's some really good games on the Switch, such as Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2, which I would highly recommend to like basically anybody. So yeah, there's that. If I compared the gameplay of Breath of the Wild and this, I don't really think it'd be a fair comparison because they're designed to be completely different, and they're both very, very fun in their own ways. So I don't think I'll compare like those two to one another. But in terms of story and in terms of music, if Breath of the Wild is a 7 for story, probably a 9.5 for story here. If Breath of the Wild's music is a 7, then like 11 out of 10 for music here. This portrayed what Breath of the Wild soundtrack could have been in so many instances. Like, the train of thought that I was going to go down and then I kind of forgot about earlier was how the battles to save all the champions and fight the blights that are corresponding to them use an epic battle theme that use the champion themes and the main theme of this game. So you're fighting Windblight and you hear like super epically Revali's theme all remixed, and you hear like the main theme of the game remixed in there as well, and it's like, holy crap, this is like the culmination of that. If you're fighting Thunderblight Ganon, you hear like Urbosa's theme remix along with the main theme of the game. Same with Waterblight for Mipha's theme, and same with freaking Fireblight for Daruk's theme. Whereas in Breath of the Wild, when you're fighting the Blights, the music that you get is just like you're fighting a big bet. Should I play the music from Breath of the Wild for it? Breath of the Wild OST. Let's say, Windblight Ganon. Let's have a listen here for what Breath of the Wild's Blight battle themes are like. Yeah, sure feels like a culmination. Like, I guess there's a little bit of a feel of the champion themes-ish. I guess. But nowhere near the extent that this went. Yeah, it's just kind of like you're fighting a big bad. Is the thing. And I have no idea what titles to search up for the Age of Calamity ones. In comparison. Is the thing. Like, I could go through the OST and try to find it. Is there like a, hold on, let's see here. Would it be this? I think that's an earlier used one. I think it's a little bit different, but still, it's a much more incredible example of using Revali's leitmotif. That's not the actual theme for like rescuing him and fighting Windblight Ganon, but something related at least. But like, it feels like it encompasses so much more of the champion themes, like, both in their generic battle themes and in the one for, like, saving them and stuff. So, like, there's basically my full review of this game and, like, comparing it to Breath of the Wild and such. I thought this game was fantastic. It looks like we do still have, like, more stuff to go, because we can repair... I've forgotten his name already. The Eye That Sees Far. An old man in Dea Village is said to be so knowledgeable, it's like he has all-seeing powers. Give him something rare or otherworldly. He'll tell you the location of that which you seek. So apparently we can repair him if we get all these done, I guess. When you visited the place that the Dea Village Elder told you about, you found parts that might just be what you need. Maybe the mysterious fellow truly does see all. Terrico, that's what it is. So yeah, maybe after we repair Terrico, maybe there'll even be like another cutscene, like a true kind of ending, which makes me really excited to see about that. But yeah, why do I still have Age of Calamity demo installed on my Switch? Well, I had to double the... Oh yeah, I guess I can technically uninstall it. I like never uninstall things. But like, that's actually a good point. Honestly. That is a fair point right there. Let's see here. Here's a oh, I need a bunch of Bokoblin trophies. I might save that for other things. Oh, I just give them 100 bananas, they give me 1,000 rupees. You've met a talented chef who has cooked for years at Hyrule Castle. He's bent on mastering a culinary creation and has asked you to buy him lots of ingredients. Well, bam. The chef bought the ingredients he needed to master the dish and paid you more than the standard price. But mastery is elusive. If you collect more ingredients, he'll pay you for them. Cool. Yeah, the Calamity has been doubled. Double the Calamity there. That's strange how this stays blue instead of, like, becoming gray. Wait, is it because I can keep doing it? Oh, it's because I can keep doing it for rupees. That's cool. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Master Koga bonus. I need a lot of rupees for that. I mean, bonus combo. Ooh, big moves to boost morale. Master Koga is worried about the recent downturn in his lackey's morale. To remind everybody who's in charge, he needs some supplies to practice. Nay, to perfect his secret technique. Alright.
Am I even allowed to be this strong?
Am I even allowed to be this strong? Also, the voice acting in this game is great. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's a shame that it's overshadowed by the music so much of the time because the audio leveling of this game is god-awful, but after rigorous training, Master Koga was able to flawlessly execute the secret technique, awed by their chief's dedication as well as his perfect form. The Yiga's morale greatly improved. Cool. Cool. What other things can I potentially get right now? Oh yeah, I definitely want that as soon as I can get it. I need a lot of wood for that. Holy crap. I'm gonna take down a few Hinox. Yeah, so there's gonna be a little bit of a grind to ham out the rest of this. I do plan on hamming out the rest of this. I'm honestly thinking I'm probably going to try to 100% this game. Is kind of what I'm leaning towards. New colors for Kochi Dye Shop. Let's see here. Bonus heart that needs Bokoblin trophies and stuff. I need a bunch of Bokoblin trophies for other more important things. There's a discount over there. Did that music louder than the talking thing yet? Oh yeah. There were several cutscenes where I wouldn't even have known that anybody was saying anything unless there were subtitles on the bottom. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, this could definitely well be the worst audio leveling I've seen in any game in my life. Potentially. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles X is definitely up there in terms of god-awful audio leveling. But like, oh boy, this game is a serious contender for that as well. I need 50 of those lizards, apparently. Painter traveling all over Hyrule can't seem to do justice to a theme that's near and dear to him. Bring this frustrated artist materials to inspire his work. Here's a bunch of hightail lizards. Wow, I had 69, magic number. The painter drew inspiration from the materials you gave him, and is creating artistic works once more. Now he will trade you a gift and thanks whenever you bring him more materials. 1 Lumina Stone for freaking 50 lizards? And yeah, I guess we get more, like, monster masks around the world for stuff like that. I mean, I have enough trophies here, and I got the other stuff that I wanted, so stable owner is shut down. He's stable because of his wedding, that is, because he's having a galloping case of jitters about the whole thing. Find somebody to calm him down. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get another stable. Hello, Luna. Hope things are going well. We were about to wrap things up here shortly since we've beaten the game, and I just kind of gave my full review of the whole thing. Wedding worry thanks to the soothing nature of the field herbs, the stable owner was able to calm down and look forward to the big day he reopened his stable too. By the way, I also hope that your birthday a couple days ago went swell. Isakala stable is now open. Akala Buns. You can DM me, but I may not respond until like tomorrow because it's 5:30 in the morning and I have an online class in like 4 hours probably. In like 4 or 5 hours, something like that. So like, Oops! Calabod's perfect dodge timing window plus 10%. Crunchy outside, soft inside. A speciality of Istakala stable. These buns won't keep long. Okay, and there's more stuff to buy there. I need crabs for that, apparently. So, like, what am I tracking right now, anyway? So, yeah, that's a big buff to, like, everybody. What's the last thing I'm tracking? Is this over here? So, like, if I track, say, this, can I buy those crabs from somewhere? At least not right now. At least not right now, it looks like. And it looks like those are all the things that I can do at the moment. Oh, no, there's a thing here, too. A traveler you met on your way back from his training is thoroughly... Wait, on your way back from training is thoroughly absorbed by his research. Give him materials he needs, and then he'll give you what he picked up during his travels. And apparently this is going to make another hyped person if I do that. According to that bar at the top. The traveler said he's researching a subject that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he hopes to elevate people's lives with his work. He'll trade you for materials he finds useful. Okay, so we'll get that made to blue. And then I'll get, like, our second hyped person in Hebra. And get me a bunch of that stuff. Nice. But yeah, so I guess if we do all these, we'll probably get another cutscene and see what happens when we revive Terrako. Very interesting name, I must say. Terrako's Return. Might just bring your little friend back to life. That's cool that there's gonna be, you know, something about bringing him back. Does that mean that Link's gonna be fighting on his own for a little while, instead of being accompanied? That's a little saddening, isn't it? Well, yeah. I've been streaming this for over 7 hours tonight. I've been streaming for like an average on 7 hours every day since this has come out. It's currently the 25th of November. This game came out on the 20th of November. I have like 30 hours in this game, or closer to 40 now. I had 30 hours before this session, so this would now be like 37. So I have close to 40 hours into this game, 5 days after it's come out, because I'm absolutely insane. This is probably going to be around the end of December by the time that this goes up in terms of daily uploads, just because I've been doing like so much in such a short span of time. It's a situation and a half, to say the least. I'm probably going to try to 100% this game. I don't think I'm going to be playing it daily anymore. I think I can take a break now. I just wanted to beat the game so that like I don't have to worry about spoilers anymore. That's basically what I want to do. So like I'm going to be taking a lot more of my time with it now instead of, you know, doing so much on a daily basis. So like there's that. It's going to be a lot more chill from now on. We're basically going to be doing a whole bunch of side quests for a while and working up to reviving Terrako, I guess, and seeing what that's all about. So that'll be neato. I need freaking fish for you. Wacky. This was a great game. I really, really enjoyed it. And don't know why Nintendo does it with the audio so much. It's annoying when you want to hear the dialogue. They may as well put everything in text for you to read and just save money for using voice. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. It ticks me off. I hate it. Anyway, apart from issues like that, I honestly thought this was a fantastic game. I think I'm genuinely going to try to 100% it, because I'm going to see this whole map blue eventually. And we're going to revive Terrako, and it's going to be great. Also, I might not do these on very hard. I might just do these on normal difficulty or something, because screw doing those on very hard. Yeah, I've prolonged this long enough. That was my very, very long review of things. I really enjoyed this game, quite frankly. I mean, I'm still pissed as heck about problems like the audio leveling. But apart from that, and some other issues, I thought this game was great. Best case scenario, they patch those issues, but like, it's probably not gonna happen. Maybe I should send an email to Nintendo. Like, fix your crap. Would I send an email to Nintendo or Koei Tecmo? I don't even know. But yeah, anyway, hope everybody who stopped by and hung out for this has a good rest of the night. Hope anybody who could be watching this after the fact on YouTube and such, probably by the end of December by the time this goes up, maybe even early next year, who knows, with how many parts I've made ahead of time, has enjoyed the series. It's been a very, very crazy journey. I can't wait to continue it. I might also continue with Breath of the Wild at some point, doing some other glitches to break that game. There's a whole bunch of other glitches that I haven't gotten the chance to showcase yet, that I might do at some point. I'm seriously wondering where this game fits into the Zelda timeline now, and I better sign off before I prolong things even more. So I'm out of here, so see ya.